Everybody knows that the guys with the best genetics usually end up having very average physiques because they made a shit ton of progress just because they had good genetics and, they just trained hard, they kind of ate some protein, and they put on a ton of mass. And after that, they always end up falling off. They stop seeing the same progress that they were making, they get demotivated, and then after that, they just give up. They just stop lifting as much. And I've seen that happen so many times to people that I know that have had amazing genetics. Like, I'm talking guys that have won bodybuilding shows 2 to 3 years into lifting, like insane physiques, and they were natural shows. They're not on juice. They're not juicing, but because of their genetics being so good, but their work ethic not being able to match that, eventually they just reach the ceiling and then they end up falling off because they took it for granted and it came to them for granted. So that's kind of the same way with my legs. Like, my legs should be a lot stronger in terms of how strong the rest of my body is. Because my upper body is like, I've benched 315. My squat should be a lot more than it is. It's 405 right now, which is pretty decent, but it needs to be better. My deadlift is not nearly as good. That's at like 465, right? That needs to be way up if I'm benching 315. It should at least be at like 500 pounds, which is what I'm trying to get to. So the main focus is just stop being a bitch, train legs harder, shift your habits, and shift your identity to something new. Because whenever people try and create change, like, I've seen this happen so many fucking times, and it's happened so many times with me, where I see somebody saying, oh, I'm gonna quit this thing, or I'm gonna start this other thing, and they start doing that thing. Let's say someone starts going to the gym, and they make fun of themselves for going to the gym. You know what ends up happening a week later? They fucking quit because they haven't shifted their identity. And you're always going to act in the way that you see yourself. Every single time I've been very consistent with something, like the gym, I've always seen myself as a guy who goes hard in the gym, who trains consistently. That's been a very easy thing for me because I've identified with that thing. I've always thought in my mind that I'm going to be a person that trains very consistently. So that's what I need to do with my legs, is that I need to shift my mindset. I need to shift my beliefs and then follow that up with the action, which causes this upward spiral of consistency. You've seen this happen so many times with other people who just start new habits, right? And they just tell themselves, all right, you know what? I'm not great at this thing, but I'm learning, I'm gonna get better, and I'm never gonna quit. Those people who always see themselves in that new light, they always make it. They always make it. Doesn't fucking matter how much struggle they have to go through. They're always going to achieve that result that they want. And I really feel that you can use that framework for just about anything in life. It's something I've been using recently with my dopamine detox. I've cut out literally all scrolling, all caffeine, all music for like the last 5 days. I'm going to be doing it for 25 more days. Literally no vices, just raw dogging life. And the thing that's helped me the most with that is simply just shifting my identity. It's shifting my beliefs. And that's made it so much easier to stay consistent with that thing. Now, of course, it's been tough. I've wanted to fucking scroll every single day as soon as I wake up. I feel like I'm going through withdrawals, right? I feel the same things that literally every other person feels. But because I have this new identity for myself, and because I want to take action in the right way and get myself to where I want to go, I'm willing to eat shit. I'm willing to get rid of this addiction. Like, I've never really been into drugs or partying or other stuff like that. I definitely have been a degenerate, like just going on Tinder and going ham, right? But I've never really had a problem with like any addictions on the outside. In terms of scrolling, in terms of like being on screens too much, that's not my PS4, by the way. Before anybody calls me out for that, that is not my PS4. I'm in my roommate's room right now because it's the only good charger in the fucking apartment, all right? So before anybody calls me out for that, that is not mine. I don't play video games anymore. But my addictions have always been on screens. I was a huge video game fiend. Like during COVID, dude, I got DM Ultra on Black War, or on Call of Duty, Cold War, Black Ops. I think it was like, yeah, just Call of Duty, Cold War. Dude, I grinded the shit out of that game, right? I was really good at it. And then I shifted to Rocket League. Like, I've always been very addicted to these other things that don't seem like addictions to other people, but they have the exact same effects and the exact same pulls as all of these other things. And it's only when I've tried to remove them from my life, I realized, holy shit, these things are very ingrained. They're very difficult to quit. Like, I remember when I quit video games, that was brutal. That was tough. It was not easy. I had so many relapses. I went back to playing so many times. Even when I promised myself that I'm never going to do this thing again, boom, I'd end up relapsing. I'd end up going back to that thing, and it fucking hurt so bad. And the way I was able to quit those things is instead of identifying with video games, I just started identifying myself as a person who lifts, as a person who takes their life more seriously. And that's what helped me cut the majority of it out. And that's the exact same framework that I am using right now to cut out the bad habits. It's what I'm using right now to cut out skipping legs, right? I want to build a big fucking pair of legs. I've got the genetics for it. On this bulk, I should be able to create just some tree trunks, bro. Some absolutely great legs. But that's only going to come if I shift my identity, if I shift my habits. And it's the most difficult thing. Honestly, it's like those first couple days are the easiest part of that new identity. But then you get to like the 1 or 2 week mark. That is truly the hardest. It's being consistent when all the motivation has worn off. Because when you start a new thing, you have so much motivation to do it. You're like, oh dude, I can't fucking wait to do this thing every single day. I can't wait to go to the gym. I can't wait to not indulge in this habit. Like you have all this excitement in your head, but as soon as that wears off, that is where the real work begins. That is where the real struggle begins. That is when your mind will fight you. That is when your mind is going to tell you that you need to give up, that you need to go back to those habits. And it's been the same way for me. Like I'm at the 1 week mark now on my dopamine detox, literally no bad habits for the last like 5 days. Dude, I'm feeling the motivation is worn off and now it's just brutality. Now it's just reality. Now I just have to push myself even fucking harder. And this is something that literally no one talks about. Everyone thinks that the first couple days are the hardest. No, that's the fucking easy part. The harder part comes with staying consistent every single day for months and months and months and building up those weeks. Just staying consistent week after week after week. That's what it's all about. And I think, honestly, the one thing that is going to help me build better legs, quit all the bad habits, everything like that, it's literally just going to be the commitment. Because once you have the identity in place and once you know the things that you have to do, you just have to commit 100%. You have to give yourself no other option, because if you do give yourself the option, your brain is going to take the path of least resistance every single time, which is why that's why you need to choose to only give yourself one option, to only commit, to go all in on that thing. You can't give yourself another possibility because you're going to go do it when things get hard. How many people have you seen that have tried to quit something using balance or some other form, some other thing? They never fucking make it work because they didn't commit. I can't tell you how many times I tried to quit something without actually committing. You already know how fucking difficult these things are going to be. You can't do it 50%. You have to commit all the way. And that's the only option that you have to give yourself. It has to be, I do this or I die. That's got to be the only two options that you give yourself. Otherwise, you're going to go and always take the easy route. Your brain is so good at that. The salesman in your head will sell you every single time because it knows exactly how to sell to you and exactly what you want to buy, exactly what you want to indulge in, which is why you can't give yourself any other choices. You can't negotiate with yourself. You can't. So that's basically exactly how I'm going to be breaking all of my bad habits. I'm already 5 days in, completely clean, completely sober, no scrolling, no caffeine, had a pretty bad addiction. I'm overcoming my lust. These are all things that I'm working on, right? And I don't want to come on here and try and sound perfect because I'm so far from it. I fall short so many times. I've fallen short so many times in my life. I have made literally every fucking mistake that you can think of. I'm going to make so many more. So I never want anybody to think, oh, like, I'm perfect. He's just a perfect human being. I'm not. I fall short so many times. I'm just as much of a sinner as you are. But I'm just trying to rebuild my life with this new discipline, with this new mindset, with this new work ethic that I want to implement. That's exactly how I'm going to do it. Just shift the identity, commit 100%, and just push myself as hard as I can to get those results. So it is actually time for a post-workout meal. Let's go grab it. So this is why I always fucking preach meal prepping. God, this thing is annoying. Is because I just finished up my workout. And instead of having to cook up a whole meal, I already got some. And for everyone saying, oh, there's Monster in your fridge, you're not on no caffeine. Yeah, there is. There's 6 there when I started. There's still 6 there. And I'm not gonna drink them. Honestly, it's almost harder this way because there's like Monster everywhere. My roommate's a huge fan of it. You can see this shit right here. He's got a whole ass sword. This thing's fucking sick. Right? I've got temptation all around me, but it's just my job to say no. It's my job to choose the path that I set for myself. So I'm going to crush this meal prep right here. After that, I got some work I got to hop into. Still got some reels I got to make, some stories, checking on some clients, all that shit. But I love you boys. Thank you so much for watching.